So end of the chapter, guys. Let's finish this chapter discussion with what I want to talk about specifically, which is Sukuna's whole ideology and everything like that. That's something that I absolutely loved this chapter. Sukuna's whole ideology. Like, Sukuna doesn't need love. Sukuna doesn't need a reason to exist. Like, Sukuna doesn't need someone to care for him. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Which I love that he says, you know, Yorozu was trying so hard to teach me about love. Yorozu was doing all of this, but like, honestly, she was kind of stupid for thinking that I didn't even know what love was. He goes, I know what love is. It's for that very reason that I reject love. He even says it to Kashimo. Like, I'm gonna go into his whole rant right now. So Kashimo, he goes, you should know what love is. A lot of veterans have challenged you, trying their best against you, and they didn't curse you for getting away. They wanted your recognition. They wanted you to know who they were, and you just killed them with your bare hands. I wonder how it is to relate with the rest, being compassionate. But if that isn't compassion, then what is? Sukuna experiences love, and he also explains to both Kashimo and even references Gojo in this instance that characters that are this strong, that are so above everybody else and on a completely different plane of existence, don't get to experience conditional and mutual love. Kashimo telling Sukuna that he has no idea how to give compassion to those weaker than him. He has no idea to give care and love to the people that aren't on his level or above that level, which we see when he looks at Sukuna's full transformation. He goes, why? How is this level so beautiful? Because he only gives that adoration and is only able to feel that level of attraction, that level of love in someone who's on that level with him or a strength above him. But Sukuna's explaining that, Kashimo, you're a fool because you've been showing people love this entire time. He goes, you giving any person that found you strong, you giving any person that wanted to challenge you or made you a goal to defeat you, and you taking them out and even giving them the time of day, was you showing compassion. People like us, people that are that strong, people that are so absolutely terrifyingly powerful that they can give death to any who oppose them, that is their gift. That is their love. These characters are just showing affection in killing these people and giving them a warrior's death, which again kind of goes into what I said about Ishigori being deprived of having that experience, that fight, that greatness that he frankly he deserved, being the veritable canon, being the sorcerer with the highest curse energy output in history in the Edo period, the same period as Kashimo. Kashimo should have put that motherfucker out of his misery before he even stepped to Sukuna's mantle, before he even became a cursed object and reincarnated into the culling game. But because Kashimo left in face of trying to find out what love was, he missed out on what could have been love. He missed out on giving the rightful deaths to people that deserved it. As Sukuna goes in to say later, he goes, we are loved because we're strong. And we reply to that love by killing the people that adore us, that look up to us. Frankly speaking, Sukuna giving Kashimo this death right here is Sukuna showing love. Is Sukuna fighting Gojo and giving Gojo enough time to Gojo to show everything he possibly could do, and then Sukuna killing him was Sukuna showing love. So Sukuna goes, you had this perfect setup, dog. You had this perfect love contract, this perfect love cycle, yet you still worry about loneliness. You're looking for something you don't need. So basically saying like Kashimo spent and literally time traveled to get this satisfaction that wasn't required. Kashimo had what he wanted all along. There was no need for him to go and seek out Sukuna. This whole venture was pointless, which kind of goes into Kashimo literally amounting to nothing in the face of the King of Curses and literally dying in 2 chapters because this wasn't the death that he was supposed to die. Kashimo was supposed to fight Ishigori, kill Ishigori, and die as a memorable, admirable, the strongest sorcerer in the Edo period. But instead, he gave that up, chasing something that he had all along waiting for him. Kashimo even says sorcerers in the Edo period were stronger than they are in the modern age, so He literally joined the culling game to fight people that weren't even worth his time. And although he fought Hikari, that was a great fight and probably would have been a great death, again, all of this was pointless. The theme was love all along. NJW, you're so right. Anyway, with all this information and Sukuna spitting out all this philosophy, which it seems like Sukuna likes to do when he kills people, this whole like afterlife thing again is showing up, and Sukuna is literally talking to Kashimo in it the same way Sukuna is talking to Jogo in it. The only person we didn't see Sukuna give this afterlife ending was Gojo, which is interesting, but Gojo had his own people to walk alongside him in death. So I wonder if this is Sukuna giving love, right? Like, isn't that interesting that when Jogo died, Jogo was dying alone at the very end? You know, Jogo turned around and he had his cursed spirit friends there with him, right? But beforehand, who's there in Jogo's empty realm? Sukuna. Sukuna's there to say, hey, you died, but don't worry, you were strong. You're dead and I'm gonna kill you, but you've gained my respect. Sukuna does the exact same thing for Kashimo here, which just further proves Sukuna's philosophy is truly the way that he walks. Sukuna gives these people that adore him, that covet him, that want to fight him, and he deems interesting, the warrior deaths that they deserve, and then in their afterlife, he's the one that sees them off if they're lonely. He's the one that goes, you're strong, I respect you, I'm here to see you off if no one else is. Which just, like, again, further exemplifies that Sukuna's not lying here. Sukuna does really feel like him fighting people and giving them this death is love. Again, which is why Kashimo goes, well, Sukuna, let me pose you this question. Are you satisfied? Because if you're not satisfied, what was the point of Sukuna traveling all this time and making himself a cursed object if he truly feels this way? Why didn't Sukuna die out in his own current period? Like, if Sukuna truly believes this and has truly found love in giving love and into warrior deaths, wouldn't Sukuna have just lived out his life and died peacefully? Why did he continue to move on? And Sukuna says, well, I can say this because I understand it. There's no such thing as love. I never thought that someone would meet my expectations. Sukuna literally says, I've never believed someone would be able to be at my level. Again, similar to, he shows that he's similar to Aizen in that, well, different than Aizen, in that Aizen, because he was so fucking powerful and so strong, all he wanted was someone that would be able to be at his level. All Aizen wanted was probably very similar to Kashimo, was, I'm so fucking strong, all I want is for someone to be at my level and to understand truly what it means to be this strong. That's all I want, and if I have to go out and fucking create this person, I will. However, Sukuna, being the strongest person in his verse, takes it the exact opposite and goes, yeah, I'm the strongest and no one's gonna be able to fucking match me. I've given up on that long ago. Like, Sukuna literally came to the same conclusion that Kashimo did, or the same end of the road that Kashimo did, I should say, and went, huh, you know what? This is the end of the road. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Instead of Kashimo going, fuck, where's the, there has to be more. Sukuna goes, there's not more. And I'm okay with that. Kashimo was like, what's the point of being strong if it only comes with loneliness? And Sukuna said, I don't fucking know, bro. Kind of, that sounds like a personal problem. I just like eating people, bro. So true. I'll eat them when I want. I'll kill them if they're a burden. And I'll play with them if I find them fun. I only live under my own terms. And not being able to measure it is everyone's problem but mine. That's such a hard fucking line. He said, I live under my own terms, and not being able to measure that is other people's problem. He said, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want when I want, and figuring out what that is and not dying because of it is other people's fucking issue. So fucking, that's how I expect a king of fucking curses to fucking react. Such a cold line. And Kashimo smiles in death. Kashimo accepts his death. This is the death that he always wanted. He dies to Sukuna, even though he died so quick and didn't last that long. He's okay with it, right? He's completely okay with that. Kashimo goes, isn't that just boring? Sukuna goes, nope. Absolutely fucking not. The taste of human life is so extensive and brief. The right amount to sip and spend your life until death. Sukuna said, there will always be people to fuck with, and fucking with people brings me joy, and it never won't. that's why, maybe it's not completely confirmed, but it seems like that's why Sukuna lived on, because Sukuna enjoys living this hedonistic life where he can kill sorcerers and just thrive for eternity. He doesn't want the ride of life to end. A true villain. Literally, Sukuna's like, I'm gonna take the fucking world. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And you know what? I'm not even gonna fucking die. I'm gonna take whatever the fuck I want until time or the universe itself ends. Yeah, Sukuna is a great character. I think the characterization we got out of him killing Kashimo is well worth it. I think it was great. I think Kashimo's death was more than okay. I'm not mad about it whatsoever. I completely expected Kashimo to die, so I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all. That being said, guys, we're coming up on the end of the chapter. With Kashimo dying so quickly, doesn't really leave much to discuss. However, I definitely think he went out like a fucking boss. I think anyone that's clowning on Kashimo or thinks Kashimo didn't do a great fucking job here is just wrong, frankly. I'm completely happy with Kashimo's curse technique. I think it was a cool curse technique. I think the fact that he got goat horns to symbolize the fact that he actually is the goat. Guys, make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. It really helps the stream reach more people and really helps the channel grow. If you are on your way out and you don't feel like hanging out during winding down time, I sincerely appreciate you hanging out with us for the time that you have. My Twitter profile is in the chat. Go follow me on Twitter if you want to see more information, more unfiltered thoughts from me, more rants from me, more Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, Kagurabachi, I don't even know what series, literally everything under the sun. Go watch my Kashimo Curse Technique Explained if you want to hear more about how Kashimo is a nuclear threat level, and even though he went up against the strongest character in the series, he is still one of the top characters in the series and always will be. He got the Jogo treatment, unfortunately, but even so, we stan Joe Gang.